Hi, everybody. Cassandra Hein here. I have my good friend and nutrition and fitness expert, Jill.anenberg.lawrence here with me. Thank you so much for getting on a call and just, discussing some activities that we could do at home while we're kind of going through this weird time. What's going on with you? How are you doing today? What's going on?
Well, this is good because it forced me to take a shower, wash my hair, put makeup on. My husband is so tired of seeing me in sweats.
I'm still wearing my sweats.
I still have on my cozy socks, so.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I've worn shoes for like 36 hours.
Yeah. Good. So, this is obviously a time that we haven't really ever experienced in our lives,
Yeah.
We're not like officially quarantined, but we kind of are, we don't want to be like, hanging out with a bunch of people. And, just so everybody knows, Jill is amazing. I've known her for more than 10 years. She's been a fitness instructor. She's certified with the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. Like, you really are legit, and you've studied over 100 dietary theories. She's just amazing. So, but also when I met you, you were just, a funny host comedian. So she's also really funny, which you'll see.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it's an interesting dichotomy between being like a wellness professional and I do like corporate presentations, and like on the drive there, I'm like, shit, fuck, cocksucker. Like, I got to get it out of my system before I talk professionally, because I don't want it to lose its importance when I'm like silly Jilly. Like, I have to find that good balance between keeping it professional and then not losing myself and being authentic.
Yes, totally. So you not only have like good fitness tips, but you also have really good like recipes and things like that. Right now, you go to the store, everything's off the shelves. People are panicking. What is your advice?
The foods that are already in our pantry that we've been saving up for times like this, beans, lentils, canned tuna, things like that, like they don't go bad. And they're some of the healthiest foods that we can have. So Dan Buettner wrote the book, The 5 Blue Zones, and he studied 5 different places around the world where people are living till centenarians. So aside from the food aspect, I think a lot of those other things that they're doing, which we can talk about later, Cassandra, but like lentils, beans, high in fiber, high in protein. I know you want to limit the toilet paper, but you do want to still go to the bathroom and get stuff out. But starting to use up what we have in our pantry and not panicking. Of course, fresh vegetables and fruits are ideal because they're still living. But if you buy frozen fruits, vegetables, frozen greens like spinach, kale, collard greens, those are all still really good options because they're flash frozen at the height of their peak, freshness. So those are still good options. Like, don't think that stuff that's in the freezer is not good.
Right. And, we don't really know how long this is going to last. I think that's the unknown weirdness of all of this, is kind of like, is it going to be 14 days or is it going to be after summer, and I think that what freaks everybody out. My mom said that my dad just keeps coming home with noodles. She's like, we need more than just noodles. Yes. But I, at the same time, the things that we're doing, like I went to Lowe's yesterday and bought some soil and some seeds, not saying that they're gonna bloom fast enough for me to start eating them. I did buy some lettuce and things that I could just plant. But it's also just the activity of I'm at home, I have a backyard, I might as well make it really cute while I can. I'm going to sit in here,
Yeah, I love that. I actually just talked to a client yesterday, and she said she has little kids and now they're home with all the kids. She's like, we went to Home Depot, we bought a bunch of different gardening, like projects to do. Like, we have pots that we're going to plant stuff. And I think, like you said, like that's the kind of stuff that we typically don't think we have time for, or we don't make time for. So now, like, we're home, make your own personal home environment a place that makes you feel good, getting your hands in the dirt and the soil, and you're planting and you're watching something bloom and grow. I think just watching life happen in front of you and then you get to eat that life later is awesome. Like, it's a fun activity and it's also rewarding because then you can eat it.
Yeah, exactly. What else? I know that you do a lot of organization. And
yeah, girl. So
tell me about that.
So we're home. So what else do you do while you're home aside from like Netflix and chill? Like, use your time well, you don't have to use all your time wisely. My poor husband on Saturday was like, let's clean out the closet. And he was like, seriously? And I'm like, just 10 minutes. So that's how I lured him in. I was like, just 10 minutes and then we'll stop. We were up there for like an hour, cleaned the hell out of it. anything where I'm like, if we're not wearing it, use it, love it. If like we're hanging on to stuff, like we had 2 big duffel bags and I'm like, we don't need 2 of them. Like, let's pass it on to somebody else who could actually use it right now to save it for a potential trip. Like we don't even know when we can travel. So we got a bunch of stuff cleaned out of the closet. It's organized. It feels like you can breathe when you go in there. Even in like the pantry, the fridge, we have everything clean and organized so we can see like what stuff is potentially going to go bad in the next couple days. Let's make meals out of that. I would just say like one by one, go through each room, go through cabinets. When you have like stacks of paper, like this right here, like all of this stuff.
I need to do that right now. Actually, I'm looking at my desk.
Yeah, like I always have like, oh, I want to write a blog on this, or maybe I'll make a video on this like someday. Well, now that someday is here because I'm stuck home. And for me, and I think for everybody, like being of service and being connected and getting out of our own head and our own bullshit, like helps us feel like we're doing something, contributing to other people. And I just think service in general is like one of the best ways to get out of ourselves and then help other people and feel good about it. Like the mental health aspect is really good.
Absolutely. I agree. And, you know, we've had recently family members that have come down with the flu. I don't think that it's the, you know, COVID-19, but dropped off some soup, some chicken soup. We make, we used to call it colloidal silver, but it's really ionic silver.
Yeah.
We make that, and it's really great to clear out everything compound wise, you know. Also, I think keeping up a routine where you still get up in the morning, you still do your miracle morning. What do you do in the morning? What is your routine? Do you get up? Do you meditate? What is your thing?
I wish I could tell you I woke up and meditate. No, I wake up and I'm like, I'm starving. What am I going to eat? Like that's the first thing I think. But I put my phone on silent and on airplane mode before I go to bed. So the reason I do that and put it on airplane mode is that I don't have any Wi-Fi signals, any electronic, they call them EMFs, electromagnetic frequency, any radiation. Like I keep my phone, this is called Safe Sleep. They also have one by Defender Shield. So this protects any radiation from penetrating into my head. That's
good, because I have one too, and I didn't realize that protected me.
Yes.
Cool.
So this protects, so I put it on airplane mode so I don't have any of that. When I wake up, do not check my phone. I turn off my alarm, but I'm not tempted to see any social, any emails, any texts, because when we wake up like that, it's immediately into what other people want from us. And it starts revving up that like anxiety and like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do? When you're answering everybody else, as opposed to starting your day from, what was I dreaming about? What are my gratitudes? Like, what do I want to do today? So I don't check that. And I immediately just think of, okay, what did I dream? I'm pretty intuitive, and I have like a lot of like weird psychic-y dreams or things that will show me something or tell me something. And I think the more that you start paying attention to what you dream and also saying like, I want to remember my dreams after I wake up in the morning, like you will. There's a lot to learn from our dreams. So I think about that. I go to the bathroom. I think about a couple things that I'm grateful for, brush my teeth, and then I come and take care of my animals, which for me makes me feel really good and happy, and I'm loving on them, and the cat's purring, the dogs are so excited. They're usually in bed with me, but I'll spend a couple minutes just with them. And then I make some coffee, I have some water. Like, it's not like a crazy routine at all. It's just a habit of not doing certain things and allowing me to just live life without disruption.
Right. Which I think is important to remember, you know? I think especially.
I was going to say, when you said miracle morning, I'm curious for you, like what does that entail for your miracle morning?
Yeah, actually there was a book written, in fact, I'll pull up the author's name because I'm blanking on it right now. But he calls it the miracle morning. And I think everybody kind of does their own, in some other way or another, their own miracle morning, because it did inspire me to, kind of use that term. But I think, let me see, Hal Elrod. I saw him speak at an event, but I had already been exposed to his book many years ago. Mm-hmm. And so when I get up, I drink my water, do my thing, whatever, go to the bathroom. And then I meditate, and I kind of just get in tune with how I'm feeling. And I get observing those emotions. And sometimes you wake up and it's like, oh, the day is great. And I feel so good and inspired. And other days you wake up and it's like, oh, something's bothering me. Mm-hmm. So if I'm in that space where something is bothering me, I start subconscious writing. And what that means is I kind of, like you say, you can ask yourself to remember your dreams. You can ask your subconscious to say, let it out. like what's going on. And then once you start kind of letting it out, and then you go, okay, well, and then you could kind of like start having a conversation with it and like letting that out. And so when you start to see those patterns, then I could pull little themes out of the paper. And then I could work on those particular things. And there's a guy called Cameron Day who does very interesting. He does soul contract revocations. So there is not a formula, but kind of a script that you can use once you kind of come up with what that contract is. I think that it has something to do with beliefs, and we all have different beliefs based on how we were raised, based on, you know, what you believe, like before you even come into this body, onto this earth, or, you know, whatever that looks like for you. But what it has done is it's helped me once I do the subconscious writing to identify some of those core issues that I'm going through. And I go, oh, okay. Cause usually it's something within your own conflict, and you can usually work it out. Even if it feels like, if it's something like I'm out of control, like I don't know what I'm doing today, or, you know, I'm quarantined up and I feel like I'm going to die or whatever. It's really important to protect your mentality. Yeah. And so then I'll kind of go through this revocation process, which is a really great way of like, just really identifying what it is that's bothering you. Because I feel like we kind of are on cruise control in our lives, and a lot, you know, I think when I started really focusing in on those aspects and those things that really like, oh, that's bothering me. You know, now if something's bothering me and it comes up, I immediately understand. I'm like, oh, that's bothering me. Got to work on that, you know? So then after that, I like to write what I'm thankful for. And then after that, I like to do my affirmations. If I have time for all of it, great. If I don't, even just a meditation, you know, if I could get there, or if something's bothering me and I go straight to the subconscious writing, you know, it's kind of like whatever I have time for. If I have time for the whole thing, then great. If I don't, then I do what I can. And I think that's where everybody does what they can, I hope. But I think even in times of chaos and, you know, we really do have an impact, the way that we see the world and the way that we see what's going on. It's going to affect our inner peace. And all that really matters is your health and your inner peace when it comes down to it, you know? So 100%. That's what I try to attain, you know?
Yeah. And that's all great. And I love a few things. I love everything that you said, but I love a few things in particular that it's like, if I don't have time, I do what I can. You know, every morning is different. And the fact that you're checking in and creating that awareness, that's like the main thing that I always tell my coaching clients. You know, I'm like, this is about nutrition, but this is about all the other stuff. Like, we don't just choose to eat a sleeve of Thin Mints, and I do that too. There's other reasons why we do, whether it's like, oh, I deserve it, I had a tough day, or like, I've been eating really healthy and I want to, or like, oh, I just got into an argument and I just want to like take it out on Thin Mints. Like, having an awareness.
That's funny.
I mean, right, and the best part was I totally hid the box in like the main outside trash that goes out because I didn't want to hear it from my husband, because it's like, I know, like I know I shouldn't do these things, but occasionally we have to. But it's like doing the best you can for where you're at and with what you have. Like I was telling a friend yesterday, we should be eating certain fruits and vegetables organic all the time. But if you can only get conventional berries right now, that's better than having none at all. Just rinse them off. And like whatever your spiritual idea of like food and praying over it is, if you just like, bless this to my body and let it do for me what I need. Like I always say a little prayer or just a grateful of like, thank you for this food. And I love to plate my stuff pretty because I think we eat with our eyes, but it's also being aware of everything that you're putting into your body, because it does impact you. Like I also tell clients, I learned from when I studied with Carrie Glassman, the nutritionist dietitian, she was like, when you eat delicious treats, call it a conscious indulgence, because you're consciously indulging what you're going to eat. You don't come from it with a place of like, oh, I feel guilty, I shouldn't have this. Right. Like, hell yeah, I'm having a slice of cake and I'm going to enjoy it and I deserve it. You know, it's like we can think about things. So when you're talking about perspective, it 100%, it's all perspective. Like what's going on in the world right now, we can look at it from two different ways. And I think, sure, you can have like moments of like, it fucking sucks. Like this isn't happening. Cool. But then shake it off and move on. Okay, well, what's the bright side? I have time to now, if I want to write a book, I can write the damn book. I can organize all the stuff on my computer that like got a little out of control, and I can organize these things. I can spend more time with my animals. If you ever wanted to foster, now is the time to foster dogs.
Actually, there's a shelter down the street, and I'm going to go walk over there today. I've never had a dog
walk out by yourself.
It sounds so lame, but like, I'm like ready for a dog.
If it works for the person's situation and you can foster or you can adopt, like right now is a beautiful time because we are home. And so you can spend time training the dog or your kitty, you know, and teach them what you want, you know, as like your household rules. But the love and the purrs and like the silliness of dogs, like it is the best. Like I'm smiling right now just thinking about how much my dogs make me laugh, and like the cat was like nuzzling the computer before we started. Like they are one of the best ways to like lower blood pressure, like lower any anxieties, increase our oxytocin. Like they're just, I feel like they're little angels on earth with covered in fur.
Yeah, and you know, that's partly why I wanted to start doing these interviews, because Healthcare TV Network is something that I started creating a while back, but never really had the time to put an energy to put all the, you know, all the bells and whistles on it and all of that. But I have access to so many great content creators and people like you who are talented at what they do. You've been doing it a long time. You know, this is information that people need to be exposed to, because I think in this time, especially, you know, we can get caught in the rabbit hole of fear and just have the TV on all day and be like, well, what are they saying now? What are they saying, you know, about this? And what are they saying about that? I mean, literally the news is updating every 10 minutes, you know, before it was like, 3 to 5 days. And then it was 2 weeks. And now it's 30 days, you know, until you know that you have to, or that you have it or not. And this is really a place that we're creating to just be all inclusive, support each other, you know, get good health and balanced wellness tips, but also share good information. And I absolutely think that if you're in a peaceful place within, then it's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't mean that nobody's gonna die, but that does mean that the way that we perceive the events, because if we're all freaking out, it really doesn't help anything or solve anything. So
yeah. And the other thing too is I think like social connection, and like this is so cool, Cassandra, because we can see each other. We can, you know, it's like I can read your facial expressions. I've like been FaceTiming a lot of people that I never FaceTimed before. We just normally would have phone conversations, but I'm making an effort to reach out both to like introverted and extroverted friends, because people who like thrive on other people, like it's hard to not be able to like hug and touch and slap an ass and like chest bump and like, you know, like all of that stuff that's fun. I think now is a really great opportunity to like spend even more time reaching out. Like you're home, like when's the last time you sent like a home written card or a letter? You know, if you don't have the means to do that, or you don't have like stamps in the house, you don't want to go out, send an email to someone just telling them, hey, I just wanted to like show some gratitude. Like you taught me this, this, and this, and I'm really grateful for you in my life. Like send out gratitude. It almost makes me want to cry. Send out gratitude emails. I know, like I'm like getting choked up just thinking.
I think that's a really good idea. I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
It makes me emotional because I think, oh my God, like no one ever gets stuff like that. And in a time like now to receive something, two ways. One, it feels good for me to express it. And then for someone to receive it, I'm like, oh my God, it's so amazing to know that they're going to get something. And then if they call you or they tell you like, wow, that really made my day. Like I just got laid off my job. And then you just told me a laundry list of things that you love about me. Like, wow, thank you. So I think just again, like coming out of yourself, being of service. I know my husband laughs at how much I cry. Dog commercials.
Oh my gosh. I cry when other people cry. So like, I'm like, I'm
going to write you a letter later today and then I'm going to make you cry again. There was a video from the dodo today. If you just Google woman dances with her dog at wedding, he showed me that when I first woke up, and like minutes in I was already crying, and I'm like, the only reason I want to renew our vows is so the dogs could dance with me. I think like
you've always had dogs. You've always loved your dogs.
I just love animals so much. But I think watching fun stuff, like yes, watch the news and stay updated, but then turn it off so that you're not just inundated with all that, I'm going to say negativity, because it is all negative news right now. Like there's not a lot of like channels showing you, aside from this, like, hey, like let's get more sleep, let's eat better, let's manage your stress, like send cards, make yourself cry because it feels good. You know, like there's a time to listen and learn, but then there's also a time to just empower yourself and learn how to just be healthier, mind, body, soul, emotionally, the things that will help carry you through.
Absolutely. And I think also, if whoever's watching this has tips on that, we want to see what those are. Like add them to the comments. We want to hear from you and include you in the conversation, because we're all in this together, you know?
Yeah, I think one thing that's super important right now is for all of us to get good sleep. I know a lot of people are staying up really late. And again, it's like watching the TV, you have that blue light, it's messing with your melatonin. So then you can't sleep well. And when we don't sleep well, that's the first thing that decreases our immune system. And right now I'm all about like, what do we do to build our immune system up? Like, how do we get better sleep? That also helps balance out our memories, our cognition, like your brain health. It balances out hormones, leptin and ghrelin, what tells you like, keep eating and know I'm full, because you want to be eating good stuff too. So really try to keep on that nighttime routine. And like, I have a nighttime routine. I turn the phone off like about half an hour before I'm going to go to bed. I put it on airplane mode so then I don't look at anything. I'm not influenced one way or another where it's like, oh, that's irritating, or like laughing too hard and then I feel like revved up. Don't have the blue light. I usually read some sort of a book that is fun or interesting or, you know, just makes me feel good. Yeah. And then for me, like I just say a little prayer before I go to bed, like going through like, what am I grateful for in my day from the moment I woke up? And the next thing I know, I'm asleep, but I fell asleep just in gratitude. So it doesn't have to be a religious thing, like praying to a God, if that's not what is comfortable for you. But I think just being grateful and falling asleep in that, as opposed to falling asleep in like, am I going to have enough food? Am I going to catch it? I can't see anyone for fucking weeks, you know? Like,
right. I know. I do think that, you know, the scare that it's going to spread like wildfire actually instills a fear that puts your senses down. It puts your immunity down. And I think that, you know, your mind is just as important as your physical being. I think it is all connected. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if we can keep our mentality, protect it enough to where, look, we're not putting we're not an ostrich, you know, with our head in the sand, but we know what's going on. Thank you. You know, good to know, but, you know, get the facts. And, you know, we're able to talk like this. We're able to share information. We're able to keep our spirits uplifted with each other. So I do think that if you don't meditate and you want to get into meditation, we're also going to have more meditation people on this channel and content like that. But also, you know, are there things that people want to see? Are there more topics that people are interested in learning more about? Because we want to bring good content to what you guys actually want to see. So make sure that you are commenting, letting us know. And yeah, is there anything else that you want to share right now, Jill?
Yeah, I mean, so we're in California and we have tons of citrus trees like lining the streets. So if you're worried about there not being enough things at the market to purchase, like I keep picking lemons from all the neighbors' trees. That's one of the easiest things to squeeze into your water with a little cayenne pepper. I'm not going to say it's going to kill COVID, but it kills germs. It also speeds up your immune system, clears up your skin. It's hydrating. So like, what are just the little easy things that don't cost a lot of money that you can do? So something like that, like mushrooms, I think are a really great food right now because they contain vitamin D, because mushrooms are grown out in the sun and they absorb all of that. And vitamin D keeps our immune system up. It's also good for our mental health. I would say like including any of the superfoods like chia seed, hemp seed, and flaxseed meal. All three of those are inexpensive. You need like a tablespoon at a time. They have the omega-3s. Again, it's like your brain health, your cognition, keeping your immune system strong. The probiotics are great for that because 80% of our immune system is in our gut. So just being mindful and smart about the foods that you're eating right now and staying super hydrated. Green tea, matcha tea is even better. Matcha tea is great because it has L-theanine, which helps calm our nervous system. Chlorophyll is what makes it green. So the chlorophyll will also help detox out heavy metals or just, you know, crap that's from around. So just choosing foods that are going to like lift you up, keep you healthy, keep your spirits high. Don't get me wrong, I also love sweet foods, but the sugar is like the first thing to destroy our immune system and destroy our happiness. It definitely is a depressant.
Right. Yeah, I do black seed oil in the morning, which is really great, omega-3, 6, something or other. And I also do C60 in olive oil. And I don't know if you've heard of C60.
I haven't heard of C60.
It's kind of a topic that I should do a whole other thing on. But it's basically a very strong antioxidant, and it has to be placed in oil in order for it to be consumed. And so I've been using that, and it's like super, very, very powerful antioxidant. I will leave some links to it down below. But it's really, I've found that it's, it's like way stronger than vitamin C, but vitamin C is also great. And I love, we have a tangerine tree. So I love picking the tangerine, and like feeling that vitamin C hit my throat, that feeling. And yeah, I also do apple cider vinegar with citrus in the morning in my water. And I won't lie, I like to have a glass of wine or 3 at night, especially during this time. I know you don't drink.
Yeah, but
that I encourage people to do. But I do, it's not like we're all perfect. I think that everybody has their thing. You got your Thin Mints,
Yeah, let me just caveat here, like, you guys, I don't drink because I don't like it. I liked it too much. I drank in my 20s and I just stopped. And when clients ask me about drinking, like what Cassandra's saying is having some wine, awesome. Like there's resveratrol in it. That's a good antioxidant. If you're going to have hard liquor, don't mix it with soda, mix it with like a kombucha or soda water and lemon, something that like kind of balances it out.
Have you heard of the emergency mixed with vodka? It's a quarantini.
I saw that. I was like, oh my God, that's so funny.
I know. Now it's like spread all over. But when I first heard that, I was dying. Thank you so much, Jill. I really appreciate you coming on and just having a good conversation about health and wellness and keeping everybody's spirits up. And if you guys want to find Jill and all of her great, tips and advice, and she has recipes, go to jill.anenberg.lawrence.com.
Yes. And I'll also share, I've been posting a lot of videos on Instagram. Like I just showed how to make cashew milk because it's really easy. It takes 2 ingredients, how to make your own hand sanitizer. I have tons of workout videos on there. There's always bloopers at the end. So if you have kids around, maybe be cautious because there are bloopers. But there's so much content on the site if you want to read some, whether you want to read or watch, there's a lot of information. And if you want me to ever make something or write something, video or written content, like let me know as well. I'm always happy to, create something that you guys want.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. So keep us posted when you do put content out so that we can push it out there for you. And thanks again for joining us today.
Thanks, Cassandra. You're awesome. I love you.
I love you too.